another episode on the channel. I'm Dr. Nasser, PGY3 in internal medicine, soon to be a hospitalist in the state of Florida. So happy to be here today. So passionate about medicine and AI and the integration of AI into medicine. So we are here today to actually compare and contrast the uses for NotebookLM and ChatGPT. It is a showdown, but by the end of the video, I'll convince you that you're gonna need both of these tools for their own strengths. So if you're just using one tool, one AI source, you're gonna miss out on a specific strengths that each of these other AI tools have. So the goal of this channel has been to show you what uses these specific AI tools have that the others don't. So let's go ahead and get started. So NotebookLM is a Google specialized AI. It is made to analyze only, this is important, only the documents you upload, nothing else. There won't be any generative new ideas, creative ideas added. That's just the materials that you put in there. Specific papers, sources that you want reviewed, summarized, and analyzed. You use NotebookLM, okay? And the citations are fantastic. They will give you exactly which part of the document that material came from. ChatGPT is a large language model. It is very versatile. It's an assistant that is trained on web data, so it has access to a lot of broad knowledge. And the responses that you can get on ChatGPT are very flexible. Depending on how you even frame a question, you're gonna have some creative content generation that you may not have even thought about. But NotebookLM, it only focuses on what you give it, those documents, and nothing else, okay? So we're gonna go over 5 rounds of testing for each of them, and we're gonna find out which one does better in that round. So the first round is gonna be clinical documentation. We're talking about creating discharge summaries, reports, and patient data. Second round, medical research, analyzing, synthesizing scientific literature. Personalized education, creating learning materials, continuing education. The fourth one is going to be navigating guidelines, extracting specific protocols from the latest clinical guidelines. Clinical information retrieval, finding relevant information for patient care. That would be the last one. So let's get into the first one. Clinical documentation. That means you're going to upload the stuff, let's say progress notes from a patient stay in the hospital, and you want to create a discharge summary. You're going to have it, you'll give it the structure. You say, hey, NotebookLM, I want you to create a discharge summary. You can even create one, sample, and upload it to NotebookLM as a separate source. And then you add each of the different progress notes as separate sources, and you tell it, hey, I want a discharge summary to match the final discharge summary sample format that I gave you. It will process those specific documents, and it will work within the confines of those documents that you uploaded, and it will always be accurate and structured and styled in the way that you ask it to. So you don't want any new knowledge. The issue with ChatGPT is for 1 or 2 progress notes to tell it to summarize and give a certain format, it'll be fine. But as you put more data into ChatGPT, the fact that it's very creative, it can actually start to fill in the gaps that it finds in those documents with pseudo knowledge. So you have to watch the video on the 10 prompts that you can give ChatGPT to personalize it for a doctor's use. You can use those prompts, you can give it instructions, you can do your best. But again, ChatGPT, and I'm talking about, in this case, for clinical documentation, ChatGPT 4 Turbo, which is a paid version, still needs a lot of proofreading to make sure there's no new or creative pieces of information added by ChatGPT itself to those documents. So if you are creating discharge summaries of patient stay, summaries of patient notes, and it needs to be accurate and structured, I would give it absolutely to NotebookLM because I don't want any new information added. But if you were to use ChatGPT to do that, just know the limits and make sure you proofread very hard. All right, so medical research. NotebookLM is very good at basically gathering information from multiple uploads. You can add 10 papers and sources for a specific topic that you're doing research on, have it create a summary, create a mind map, create materials to, let's say, study of, or you even want to create an audio podcast between two people, I'll show you right now, and you wanted to cite those sources exactly where they came from in a consistent manner, you go to NotebookLM, okay? If you want a few papers here and there, it's a case report, there's not that much new information, the study is limited, you can use ChatGPT version 4.0, but again, the referencing, you have to make sure you tell it, instruct it exactly how you want it, and to check it with other AI tools to basically make sure it is consistent with the citation, that you want it. So it needs more teaching and instructing and proofreading. But again, it's still possible to use for smaller studies and things that are not too complicated. You don't need too many uploads, all right? In this part, I'm gonna go ahead and show you an example. But when it comes to personalized education, both of these tools have ways to help you. So I would recommend using both of them, okay? So if you want to process full textbooks, very large articles, board material, okay? You want to create very precise summaries, maintaining that context of the source, and being on top of everything, make sure there's no new pseudo information. I would go to NotebookLM. And especially if you have a lot of those material or it's very, very many pages. Now, ChatGPT, let's say you want to create memory cards, visuals, charts, different styles of questions. You can even add those extra GPTs. For example, Khan Academy has a GPT that you can use it to teach you things, break it down, analyze things. So very good at doing a lot of generative creative scenarios, summaries, and things like that, but mostly for quick reviews and not for materials that are too many pages or too technical. Let me show you here. For example, I uploaded some documents about hematologic malignancies, leukemias, okay? Then I had it create a mind map. This is NotebookLM, okay? Just look at how amazing this tool can be. You put this here, you create these, and it automatically creates all of the subtopics. Neutropenic fever, it tells you fever plus ANC less than 500. You can go to TLS and it will give you all, and this is all generated from a very large, long document, and it just makes it so simple and lays out this amazing mind map. Now, let's say you wanted to do an audio overview, a podcast that you can listen to. I actually did, but I did too many, so it says I've reached it. But it basically will be a conversation between two people on the sources, and you can pick which sources to do what to. So if you pick these two sources, see it says two sources over there, and then you can ask it questions within there, creating summaries within there. So for example, here, I picked these sources, and then these are the citations that I told you, exactly tells you where it comes from. And I just said, I want you to create a summary of these malignancies in this chat, and it created a summary document. Then I put it in ChatGPT and created another document, which is this one. And then I had it create an audio podcast from the summary document. Okay, so that means I mix and match a lot of things. And then you can also see it can create timelines based on timeline of events. It can create a briefing document. It can create a study guide where it will ask you questions. And I also did that for, these are the ACC/AHA guidelines on heart failure. So you can see here, these are all the medication therapies it has separated. You can create on these and it will tell you the types. So if I go here and I create, and I go to advanced heart failure and I click clinical indicators, it will go exactly to the paper and tell us what it says. There you go. So all of the important information that you need to know about heart failure, okay? Beautiful. So let's go back to our presentation. Each of these tools definitely have their place. Now, if you were to investigate and navigate through guidelines, again, you want to have a specific guideline papers uploaded. You want to know where they come from. You're a cardiologist, you're an internal medicine doctor. You want to make sure you stay within the realm of those clinical guidelines with those exact pinpoint recommendations. You go to NotebookLM. ChatGPT can give you general overviews, but again, not specific files. I would not use it for specific files. Clinical retrieval information, just know if you're going to use and put any data in either of these two, as I said before, make sure you go through the HIPAA compliance video to make them HIPAA compliant. The only way these tools can be HIPAA compliant is if your employer basically gives you a version that has a BAA agreement or some sort of a contract between these Google or for ChatGPT, OpenAI, that allows you to be HIPAA compliant. Otherwise, you have to make sure you de-identify all of those documents and not directly upload to these. Now, final thoughts in terms of documentation. Just remember that ChatGPT wins maybe by 1 point because of the creativity and accessing the web, but in terms of accuracy and structure, NotebookLM wins. NotebookLM is not made to create, for example, for you an HMP note, okay? It doesn't really know what the format of an HMP is, and it may not look as good as if you have a ChatGPT create an HMP note. What you can do to NotebookLM is you upload a structured version of an HNP note and then your transcript of your conversation with a patient and have it integrated into the HNP note based on your template. But ChatGPT has the creative ability to do that without you having to tell it. Research, very important to use NotebookLM. If you have multiple uploads, you're working on a lot of different research papers, you're working on a very complicated paper that you need exact citations, I would definitely use NotebookLM, and NotebookLM here wins for sure. Education, both will provide the same amount of value. I say use both at the right time. Guidelines, again, if you're staying within the realm of a specific guidelines, I would use NotebookLM. If you're just getting a general overview, reviewing a few things, it's okay to use ChatGPT. Clinical information retrieval, both of them are not HIPAA compliant, and you are going to have to de-identify the data before putting it in. This video is not about which one is better. It's about which one is better at what task and when to use each. Use both when you have complex projects that needs both the creative side and the data retrieval side, and mix them. And again, precision task, NotebookLM, creative task, ChatGPT, put them both together, you'll have a perfect combination. And always use your own expertise in clinical judgment. These are smart algorithms I once said on one of my first videos, but I'm gonna change my answer and say they are actually stupid algorithms, okay? You have to basically be the delegator, making sure they don't make mistakes, okay? These AI tools are not perfect in no way. You have to be in charge of everything they do. And as a rule of thumb, if you are using an AI tool for any reason and for any task, you better know how to do the task yourself. Because if you don't, you will not know how they got to the end point of that task. And if you don't know, you cannot fix it, you cannot proofread it, you cannot verify it, you cannot understand it. They become these black box, and you want to avoid that, guys. So always, if you're using these tools for a certain task, always learn that task yourself so you can delegate better. All right, and I will upload the summary of this with the guide and which ones, the uses of each of these and how to use them on my Patreon channel if you'd like to join. Those will be for free. I have some board materials on there if you want to donate to me. I appreciate that. Always join the conversation, guys. If you stayed to the end of this video, thank you so freaking much. Please don't forget to drop a like, comment, subscribe. Everything we do here and all of it, a YouTube community of creators, really without engagement means nothing. So I really appreciate if you would like the video, comment, subscribe if you think I can add anything to your knowledge. Like, be part of this community of AI and medicine, because we have to have more of us talking about these tools, and AI is moving really fast for that. So again, I appreciate you for being here. I'll see you on the next episode.